All right. Well, greetings, and welcome to another episode of Great American Survival. Today we're going to do a live stream, and our live stream is going to be composed of 20 questions submitted by various subscribers and people off of Instagram and Facebook and email, and it's just been really cool. I was really happy that we got 20 questions. I wasn't really honestly sure how many people were going to ask me some questions, but I'm glad I got over 20. I'm going to limit it to 20 and run through them tonight. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm having a great day. Today is a great day. Not sure how many people we got out there watching, but right now it says I've got 3 in here already. So we're going to start off. Like I said, all these questions were all submitted from either on here on the YouTube channel, they were on Instagram, and they were on Facebook, and some of them were just emails, and it was just really cool. So I'm really glad. I'm thankful for everybody that took the time to write in a question, and we'll get to it. Hold on, guess I need to find. Hold on, it's telling me I have a bad connection, so I've got to get where I can get a better connection. Bear with me. Going inside. All right. In my wallet. All right, my apologies, guys. If it says I have a bad connection now, I don't know what else to say. So, there's a giant portrait of my wife and kids. Nope, just starting, Brian. It's saying I have a bad connection, and I'm right by my Wi-Fi router, so I don't know what the problem is tonight. It's there. I've got a good connection. Hopefully I'm not too laggy, but for that, I'm going to get started. And our first question we had... You missed my... Oh. What's up, Moose? All right. The first question I was asked was, how long have I been married? We've been married for almost 20 years. In March of next year, it'll be 20. So right now, 19 years. Second question was, how long have I been in scouting? Just under 5 years. I've been doing it for 5 years. I've always been involved in the outdoors and done stuff along the same lines, but there's a lot more to it than that. For the connection, yeah, I can't. I don't know why I don't have a better connection. I'm like right here right next to my router, so it should get better. Yes, and actually, Laura, I just answered the first 2 questions were both from Miss Laura Michaels. And she asked, how long have I been married? And she also asked, how long have I been in scouting? The answers were 19 years for marriage, and I've been in scouting for 5 years. I love scouting. It's something I always wanted to be involved with, and I just never was. I always did the outdoors, but I just wasn't involved with anything like this. I was not giving back, and I love it. The third question was, what is the best $20 I've ever spent on the outdoors? I don't know. I'd probably say if I could do it as a reoccurring, would probably be my fishing license. I love to fish. But if it's a one-time purchase, I'd probably say was probably my very first bow and arrow. I bought a bow and arrow, a longbow. I had it, and I still remember paying for it, but I'd probably say between those 2 things. If it's a reoccurring thing, my fishing license means the world to me, because I love to fish. And like I said, I also love, the outdoors. I love to hunt. The next question was the scariest outdoor experience I've had. The scariest outdoor, we were hiking the John Muir Trail, and I was bit by a rattlesnake on my ankle. And it's been, I had to hike to a fire station which was just a Ranger tower. And a house with a scout uniform on. When you make me, no, I would not make you leave, you silly goose. But I was bit by a rattlesnake on my ankle, so we had to hike to a fire station where we were able to use a radio to call for help, and then they life flighted me out, and it was awesome. Really, John Muir Trail is awesome. There's a couple questions on here that'll probably relate to that, just because I've enjoyed hiking it, and it's an awesome trail. Favorite fish to eat was trout. I love trout. Oh, yeah, I don't think it's gonna fit you, dude. I don't even think your Air Force uniform fits you that you started off with. Did it? No? Andy? Moose? My favorite fish to eat is trout. I love to catch just trout in the streams, but I also love saltwater trout, sea trout. I love it. Exactly, And it says, my favorite piece of gear was our next question. We're on question 6. Question 6 was my favorite piece of gear. I would honestly say probably my go-to piece of gear is a hammock, but I won't say that because that's a given. It's just, it's something I always do. And I sat there and went through, I'd probably say my Grail. My Grail water filter is hands down my most used piece that I actually don't like going anywhere without it. Did I do the gift? Oh, yes. Yeah. Get with MD about that. Yeah. You guys, that was an awesome thing. If you guys were not into that, involved with the Mission 22 giveaway, you missed out. It was awesome. A lot of good money. I'm going to be doing a fundraiser. What I'm going to do is I've got a good collection of knives, and I'm going to do an auction, and all the money's whatever they go for. The money's, you guys will get the knives, and all the money will go to Mission 22. So I'm going to put that together, and we're going to announce that next week. Said, my favorite what is your go-to hammock setup for cold weather? I have never, my wife just bought me a underquilt for my hammock last Christmas. Before that, I never used an underquilt. I have always just been a normal hammock person. Yeah, you're going to auction off a date with me. And I've always just been a normal hammock guy. And what I'm going to do is, my hammock, and then I use a Marine Corps winter bivy setup. And honestly, I've never really had a problem. I had one experience where we were in Minnesota and it was really, really cold. And the way I started it up is I would line my hammock with a wool blanket, and then I put in my sleeping bag, like the normal part. And that's always been my go-to. I use a tarp. I use a reflective tarp for cold weather camping as opposed to a rain fly, because it just reflects the heat back down, and it's better for you. It just keeps me warmer, and it's always worked. It says, this one was from Emberado. He said, what is a ridgeline for on a hammock? And your ridgeline controls your sag and the way it hangs. If you're ever in a hammock and it's really tight on your side and wants to wrap you up like a taco, then you've got too much pressure. A lot of people pull it really, really tight and, pull it out where you can't really use it. What's up, Jax? And if you pull your hammock too tight, it's uncomfortable. So what you do is you attach your ridgeline, and it holds the pressure from buckle to buckle, so your hammock will have a sag in it. And by it having a sag, you can lay diagonally across your hammock, and you can almost lay flat. It just makes it a lot easier and a lot more comfortable to camp in. I know for years I have a couple of hammocks where I can almost sleep on my stomach. Like Andy. Favorite outdoor activity. I I love rock climbing, but I'd probably say my favorite thing would be kayaking. I love camping, and all of those things kind of go into it. So my activity would probably be camping. But if it's one thing, I love kayaking. I've been kayaking since I was young, and it's always been just an awesome thing to go hike into places where I'm putting into a river where I probably shouldn't be. I've done that many a times, and I'm lucky to be alive. So, moose knuckle. Okay. Question 10. Longest hiking trip. The longest hiking trip I've been on was hiking the John Muir Trail. And I've done it 3 times. And out of the 3 times you do it, John Muir Trail is 211 miles. And it generally takes you a little less than 3 weeks. You can do it in a lot less if you really want to make good time. But it is not like, it's kind of a highlight reel because it's part of the PCT for a major part of the John Muir Trail. And when you're on it, it just is overwhelming of how awesome it is. The scenery, you're coming out of Yosemite, and it's gorgeous. I mean, it's just so beautiful that you don't want to hike as fast as possible. You don't want to turn those 15 and 20 mile days because you want to stop and enjoy this. I mean, it's breathtaking. I mean, there's so many beautiful things to see. You know, if you're a reader and you like John Muir's books and everything, you can hike those things and you just look at them and think you can honestly think of which way you're going to look at of what's more important, you know, getting there quickly or enjoying the trip to get there, you know. I love some of the little streams and lakes up along the John Muir Trail, and there's just some awesome. You get into some sequoias that are just humongous. Next question: what do you think is the most important outdoor survival skill? I'd probably say if I was talking about most important outdoor skill, I would say it was either water purification or shelter building. But I would honestly say it's water. Water is the most important thing in your life, and it's the most important thing on the trail. Bottom line. You'd be amazed if you're hiking in an area that's populated and traveled by any other people of what you come across and what you find. But when it comes down to water, water is what water is. You know, you've got to have it. You can go, but your body starts shutting down. And it's just too much, you know. You get where you start getting headaches, getting lightheaded, you get moody, and you're just not a fun person to be around. Question 12. Do you prefer fixed blades or folding blades? If I was hiking, hey Adam, how you doing, buddy? It says which one do I prefer, fixed blade or folding blade? As a general carry, I love a good fixed blade knife. If I'm hiking, I always have a fixed blade knife on me. I mount mine up on my strap on my backpack. Hey, there's Ryan. How are you doing, ma'am? Good to see ya. Got Jax, we got Andy, we got Adam, we got everybody. Then we got Ryan, we got Kaylin. Man, I am blessed. There's some amazing knives out there. My favorite, I would honestly say, like I said, I've got a couple of really good fixed blade knives I love to carry. One of them is just an old K-bar. It's a smaller K-bar, but it's honestly just one of my favorite K-bars. It's one I enjoy carrying, and I honestly can't think of anything else. I've carried it for a long time. I think I want to say my Uncle Eddie gave it to me when my cousin was in Scouts, and I've enjoyed having it. Hey, we got Heath in here. Awesome, man. Got a group in here. This is awesome. Thank you, guys. This is my first time doing 20 questions. These were questions that were submitted by you and by several of you. Had a lot of great questions turned in. I'm going to move on. Number 13. I had a problem with my Wi-Fi. I was outside and my Wi-Fi wasn't working because I have too many kids. I have two kids that are both playing on iPads, and they would interfere. So it says favorite outdoor hammock setup. I think I actually read that one already. I think I must have wrote it twice. My favorite hammock setup is I use a hammock that my mom made. Actually, it's probably my go-to hammock. If I'm using it now, if I was going to pack for the winter and go now, if I was backpacking, it'd be different. But if I'm just going on a car camp, I have my winter camp, my winter bivy, my Marine Corps bivy. Makes it where I can handle any type of weather. I've been in some really cold weather, and I've been in the hammock camped in the snow and not had any problems, not been uncomfortable, and it's just been awesome. Nowadays, I have a couple of lightweight sleeping bags that are really, really well built, and they're meant for below zero and so forth, but I just have never used them for it because, honestly, I'm just not comfortable with them. I like them, but there's the newer stuff that is lightweight. If you're backpacking, that would be what I'd be carrying. But if it was the other way around, if I was sitting there if I was car camping, that wouldn't even be a question. Yes, I still hammock camp. That's not even a question. It's just what I do. I love my hammocks. I mean, I really do. I can't sleep without them. When I'm camping, I can go, like if my wife and them, if we're going and we're trying to do a quick setup, we'll do it, and we'll just take one of our big tents. It works fine. Like a family camp out, like with our scouts, we've done it, but we still don't usually like to do it. We still end up with our hammocks, and our boys end up sleeping in them anyways. And, well, like I said, a lot of it has to do with, when Andy was saying hammocks are hard for him, a lot of it has to do with the way it's all about setting up your hammock. I'll do some videos to make it, you can lay flat. I can lay on my stomach in some of my hammocks. They're just really well built and very comfortable. Very comfortable. Yeah, here, I'll show you that. That is a picture my wife and son had made for me years ago. It's a beautiful picture. I got a reflection shown on it. There it is. It's my little red and my son Sammy. It's awesome. Next question. Question 14. What is your go-to fire starting method? Flint and steel. I love flint and steel. I'd honestly say I love a good ferro rod. I know that was it was my birthday. They did that for my birthday. It was one of those ones where I really didn't want to know how much it cost to have done, but it was awesome. It was just awesome. They had it done. I've got pictures of my wife and my sons all over my toolbox. People always laugh about it because I have the whole main door of my toolbox there's probably 50 pictures of my family on there. I mean, it's just, I've cropped them and just stuck them all together. Well, thank you, Kaylin. That's the one, like I said, it means a lot to me. Yes, my son was probably 6 or 7 then. He's 16 now, What did you get? Oh, you got a dream hammock? Nice. Dream hammocks are very nice. Very nice hammocks. I've got a couple of war bonnets. I've got some Hennessy's. I've got some Dutchware. They're all really nice. And the only thing they really get into, I try to tell people, they're like, can they justify the cost? The cost is really only way I can justify it is if I'm backpacking. If I am going to be car camping, I do not see the cost. I cannot justify it in my brain because, like, my war bonnet's $200 just on its own, let alone you add in the rain fly and everything else. My new Dutch Chameleon, I don't know. It's probably, with everything that's involved, it's over $250. It's an awesome hammock, but it's very cocooned up. It's very small, but it's very comfortable. In cold weather, I plan on camping in it this winter, just because I think it's going to be the perfect hammock for winter camping, just the way it's designed. If you haven't seen one, I haven't done one. Sorry about that. I haven't done a video on it. I haven't done very many videos on hammocks, and I need to do more. I apologize for that. But back to the question was my favorite fire starting method. My favorite fire starting method is I love a ferro rod. And honestly, the way my fire kit is now in my bag, my fire kit is a Mora knife. It's a Mora Light My Fire, which is the one with the ferro rod and the handle. And then I have on the sheath, I have several of the... Yes, Andy. Me and my wife sleep in a hammock comfortably. You're a little bigger than she is. A lot bigger than she is. Probably double her weight. But they're rated for 500 pounds, so yeah. Yeah, my fire kit is a Mora Light My Fire, and around the outside of it are a pack of Ugly matches from Mission Preparedness. And they're just wrapped, they're actually stuck in a little plastic tube, which is like a cigar tube. They're stuck down in there, and then they're a layer of tape wrapped around them. And those things, I did a video on them, so check them out. They're really, you can make your own. Pine Fire, I believe, no, Fatwood Emporium, he sells some that are just like it. And all it is jute wrapped in, dipped in wax. And when you rub it, you rub the wax off of it to fluff the jute up, so you can hold it against your ferro rod and strike it, and it strikes right up. And it's such an easy way, especially if you're using like wood burning stoves or hobo stoves or anything like that, because it is literally a match. Then when you're done, you just snuff it out real quick, and it's out. And then you can reuse the same ones over and over. Yes, the wax does prolong the burn. Exactly, Kaylin. That is exactly right. Number 15, my favorite compass. My favorite compass is a Silva Ranger. I've had the same Ranger. Well, let me correct that. I had the same Silva Ranger up until 2 years ago. I bought it when I lived in Washington for, well, hold on. Adam has a question about starting it with damp wood. The secret to it is they stay dry. If they're wet, they stay dry. And the way it breaks down is you use it to light your tinder, no matter what you're using. And it just makes it that much easier to start your fire instead of trying to strike your ferro rod into a group. Andy's cracking me up. He's trying, and they sit there, and what it does, instead of trying to strike your ferro rod into a little bird nest to start your fire, it's already there. Oh, Hike with Mike. Oh, and Ed from Grizzly Taco. Hey, Ed. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Baja. I don't taste in salmon or vanilla. Oh, gosh. Jax. You crack me up, bud. Question 16. The coldest you've ever camped in. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I skipped. I didn't finish my compass story. My Silva Ranger, I got that when I lived in Washington in the early 90s. I had it for years, and about a year and a half ago, it developed a stick where the bubble was inside, and it was causing the needle to stick. I don't know why, but I sent it back to Silva. They sent me a new one. You can't beat it. I'd had it for over 20 years. I sent it to them, and they sent me a new one. I've got it's the exact same one. I love it because it's got adjustable declination. I know. You're already in my heart, Andy. Adam, Swamp Camper has a... Okay. Those dreamy... Man, you guys are great. Next one. The coldest you have ever camped in. The coldest I camped in, I hammock camped in Minnesota about 5 years ago during the winter, and it was about 5 below. And it was really cold. But the secret to cold weather camping like that is Lee Ralph. Nice, buddy. Glad to see ya. And with winter camping, when snow and everything like that, the secret is using a water bottle, a Nalgene bottle full of hot water to warm up your sleeping bag. And then the other thing is to get in while you're doing a physical activity. Right before you get in, I always do jumping jacks or something. You don't want to overdo it because you don't want to stimulate your brain where you wake up, and you don't want to you don't want to make yourself sweaty, but you just want to raise your heart rate, kind of create a little warmth in your body, and Moose, you're killing me. All right, you got me there. You got me with have I ever tried forest berries? I don't know, but if you haven't been watching Moose, Andy's new Moose Knuckle Outdoors, the one about the first one he did was where he's talking about the trucker throwing him Gatorade was just too much for me, man. I was over there just doing the little, trying not to get sick, just thinking about it. It was just too much. But yeah, my coldest temperature I've ever camped in was -5, and that was on a Minnesota camp out. We were up there. We were kayaking or canoeing. We were canoeing on across one of the lakes. We went up, and it was just awesome. It was where we were at was still hadn't froze over, and then it the next week it was too much. So it did scare me because that kind of temperature, you're just asking for trouble. I mean, you flip over, you get in the water, you're done. Andy. Number 17. What do you think is the most important key to prepping? I would honestly say the biggest thing about prepping is, and this isn't really the answer. The answer is what I'm going to say is it's knowing your limits financially. So a budget. The key to prepping is a budget. Being able to sit there and look at everything and know what's important to you and what's not important to you. What you need and what you don't need. Whether you need more ammunition or if you just need more food. Food is the most common thing you're going to need. And Scout for Life. Awesome. Good to see you, bud. Hope the weather's down there is beautiful. I can't imagine. You're living the life, man. That's just awesome down there. And I've really enjoyed it. We sit there, and the budget makes it where, like perfect example is, I posted a video today of yard sale finds. We all know what we need. Being able to find certain things for cheaper, like I picked up a couple backpacks. I want all my boys, all my scouts to understand, backpacking and being comfortable. One of the backpacks was a smaller backpack and the other one was a bigger backpack. So that's a dad and a son kind of thing. Makes it where they both can get outdoors. They can both get some backpacking in. And I spent $5 and got two backpacks, and they are both awesome. Yes, they're older style, but they're not very old. They were both styled probably in the last 5 years, if that. And both in great condition. But being able to know when you come across certain deals, yeah, your meds are important. I'll give you that. But I mean, personally, that's exactly that. Perfect plan is, with your budget, is if you need a medication, whether you're diabetic, you have seizures, like me, I have AFib because I have scar tissue on my heart from a motorcycle wreck. And it's just one of those things where when you look at it, if you don't plan ahead and put that into your consideration, it won't be there when you need it. Those are things you can't just wing. So you have to plan out. You have to budget that stuff because you're not going to be able, like me, I can just go find somebody that's going to have my heart medicine, even though it's pretty common, but it's still one of those things I wouldn't want to have to trade off something just to get that when I can just stockpile. Every time I get one, my doctor actually writes mine where he writes it where mine is a 2 time a day, even though I only take it once a day, He does that because he knows because I might not see my doctor for a year because I keep my medicine just in case I need it, but most of the time I don't need it. Every once in a while I have an episode. Usually it's when I forget about certain things, like the last time I got poison ivy. Carolina Chris, awesome. The last time was I got poison ivy. Wasn't paying attention. Went to get a steroid shot. Got my steroid shot. My steroid shot threw my heart out of rhythm because it was a very strong treatment. Messed everything up. I ended up out of rhythm. My doctor told me just double up on take my medicine again. Drink lots of water. My heart will be fine. I actually got loaded up and headed to the hospital the next day and was in the office, and they came out to check my pulse, and they were like, "You're in rhythm." And I just couldn't tell yet. It hadn't been that long, so it was just one of those things. Next question. What is the key in hiking to long-term survival? Me, honestly, what I think of, remember the same. Yes, Leaves of 3. Yes, unfortunately, I know that one very well. But a lot of the time, it's the oils, you get them off of something else. You might not even realize it rubbed against something. It happens. It said, what is the key to long-term hiking and survival? Long-term hiking, one of the biggest things I came across when it comes to my long-term hiking is hygiene. That's just personal. Is being able to get somewhere, stay clean, and be able to make sure that you're staying clean. I love to go out, and if you get where you start getting jakey and you start getting crotch rot and stuff like that because you're not washing off, it messes you up, And hygiene just leads to other problems. You end up with a minor cut, which turns into a massive infection. Simple little things can really get out of control very quickly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Heath. I really appreciate that. Mentioning the like button. Let's see, where were we at? We're number 19. We're getting there, guys. We're almost done. It says, what is your favorite gun for survival? If honestly, the way I have mine packed up, I have mine set up to go, like to get outdoor. No way. We got Restless Outdoors in the house. Awesome. My favorite gun for survival is a Ruger 10/22. My backpack actually has has a sheath for it to go in. You can do a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. If you're going somewhere else, if you're going to pack down, now I have an AR pistol, which would be great to pack away. I mean, it's got a scope. It's got my 45 degrees. It's great for any kind of shooting I'd need to do. But I'm talking about for general purpose. General purpose, I can sit there and pack that 10/22 and 1,000 rounds of ammunition and it not break the bank and me not have to ever worry about. I mean, I can pack it into one of those real small, skinny ammo cans and be set, and not even bat an eyelash at it, Very great way to pack. And then you're perfect for small game and anything else. I mean, there's no limit to what you can't do. Small game, bigger game, coyotes, things like that. You can always pop with them. And personally, that's just a way. If I'm planning, I'm going to try and be able to carry as much ammunition for one thing as I can. 22 ammo is very easy to come across. You can sit there, and if you were in a survival situation, the odds on you coming across somebody else having a box of 22 ammo in a drawer or in an abandoned car or something like that, it is a great way to find an ammunition. The odds on having like my deer rifle is a 270. The odds on me going into somebody's house in a survival situation and coming across them having 270 ammunition is very rare. Even in today's day, to come across somebody that would have 223 or 556, not as likely. 22, just about anybody. My farmer neighbor across the street, I guarantee you, if I go over there, I can get 12 gauge ammo from him, and I can get 22 ammo from him. I know he carries a 38 as his personal carry weapon, but I'm just saying between the two, the rest works out really, really well. Always give it. Yeah. Yeah, we did Andy's being silly. Said give 100%. I love the Henry. I love a Henry 22. I had a Henry Survival, which was a great little pack-up rifle. And then my pistols, My pistol right now that's been packed in my bag is my H&K VP9. That has been my go-to gun to pack, put away, because I've got 5 magazines for it. So it's one I can grab my bag. I've got that. It's 9mm. It's easy to use. Great gun. Easy to carry. I love my 22 6-shot in a rifle. 9mm like mine. A 30-06. An older 22 rifle. Yes, very much. My son actually, we have my 22 that I actually bought when I was probably 12, mailed away and got it from Sears. And they mailed it to us, Last question. How do you want to be remembered to the world? Guys, if I can get people to share the connection that I have with nature and with God to each other and to their sons and their daughters, man, I will be blessed. If I can, I know I've already done it with a dozen different families that I've taken out and I've taken camping with us, and gotten them where they're camping on a regular basis if they don't camp with us. The fact that I know that I'm one of the reasons why they camp and why they spend that time, and they believe the same thing I do about the glory that they get from being in nature and seeing the glory that God brings to you just from being outdoors and everything you get to see. Scout for Life says his slingshot. I love a good slingshot, man. I love a good slingshot. But the way everything goes, I hope I get reminded that I loved my family, and that I loved nature, and I loved God, and that people will never question that the 3 were the 3 most important things in my life. I love them all, and I think they're all one and the same, because the time we spend together is it's glorious. I mean, we love it. We went camping with our scout troop last week, and my 6-year-old or 7-year-old, he couldn't go with us. So when we got home Sunday, he wants to go camping this weekend. So this weekend we can't leave town because my wife has to work. But what we're going to do is we're throwing a tent up in the backyard, and we're going to go out there, and me and him are going to crawl in it. If he wants to sleep all night, I'll be happy. But knowing him, he generally doesn't when we're at home. It's not the same as when we're camping. But knowing him, he'll probably be fine being out there. He just likes being out there. We have our fire pit. He just loves nature. He really does. Guys, that was our 20 questions. I look forward to doing another one of these, and it was fun. Thank you so much for all of you that sent in a question, and it was fun. I really appreciate that you guys took your time, and you actually. Sorry, guys, I'm coming down with something, and thank you, Scout. I really appreciate it, but I really hope that everybody can, take their time and just enjoy it. Get out there and enjoy yourself with take some time this weekend. Get outside, take a walk. The way I always tell everybody is that I always try to do at least 30 minutes a day, and whether it's a quick walk with my boy, and whether my son loves to take a walk every night, whether it's a short one just in the woods, we never know. We have a great time. It's a bless. Spirit of the Forest going backpacking this weekend. Awesome. Guys, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate all the good comments. I hate that when I do a live stream like this that it doesn't save these. All the wonderful comments, all the conversations we're getting to have. They won't be on the message board at the end. But thank you so much, guys. You're a blessing to me, my family, and everything that we stand for. I hope everybody out there has the rest of the week is great. I look forward to doing another one like this, and we'll do another one. I know this one ran a little long, but guys, it was fun. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys will all subscribe to each other, get to know each other better. Oh wait, Caitlin says she's going to Ledges State Park. Nice, Caitlin. That's awesome. I don't think Ledges, I've been to Ledges. Ledges is nice. Rye, awesome. Good to see you, Ryan. Thank you so much for jumping in. We're so glad you guys were in. Like I said, I've never done one of these. I'm glad it went well. I'm glad I had a good time, and thank you so much for all of you that gave asked questions. I look forward to doing more in the future, and I hope you guys all have a blessed week. Again, I'll say it like I always do. Hope you guys all have a great week. Get out there, enjoy yourself, enjoy nature, be prepared, stay safe. God bless you. God bless your family. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks.